mercenary, exploitive politicians who believe in only one thing: their master's the white man. And they have you voting for them. You know they're a fraud, but you keep hoping against hope. One day they'll change. You say, if not this year, maybe next year. You get out and vote, give your money, work yourself up, look on TV, and there's the skull cap at the Wailing Wall. I've never seen the man in a dashiki yet. I've never seen the man in an African robe yet. I've never seen the man with an African name yet. But I saw him with a Jewish skull cap at the Wailing Wall. But he'll come back. He'll be back down here shortly, telling you I made a few errors, but I found myself. And you will say, well, he may not be telling the truth, but at least he's not white. Look, that's nonsense. That's nonsense. If a man doesn't have a program for your development, let him go to hell. These so-called leaders with their white friends started forming a number of organizations. NAACP. Ralph Bunche looked at the group and he wrote that it was a conglomeration of mawkish, missionary-minded liberals and outright conservative Negro reactionary. That's what Ralph Bunche said. I did not say that, please. But their job was the same. Their job was to keep you mentally enslaved. Keep you on the plantation. Keep you hoping to the afterlife. And it was so beautiful. Everything would be perfect. Eternal food stamps. Palatial public house. You wouldn't have to work. You wouldn't have to read anything. You would never have to read again. These are the images that were layered onto the dead zombie. Now that's why we are what we are today. These civil rights groups criticize every indigenous leader you have ever had. There's a book written, a compilation of slaves who ran away from the plantation because they knew what real freedom was. They knew what Africa was. They could not abandon their feeling of the collective unconscious. They felt the breath of Africa as the wind blew. They heard the call of prayer that circulated throughout the Mandingo tribes in West Africa, and they started in their hearts saying, Allahu Akbar. They couldn't help it. And the whip was no deterrent. They ran away. They were your leaders. And the white people caught them and beat them and beat them. Do you realize that many of the black slaves slept with chains around their neck and ankle chains every night? Read the book. Read the book. The land of the free and the home of the brave. One brother was so adamant, he ran away and they caught him. That's what the book is about. It gives a description of the slave so that he could be captured. This brother was caught and they cut his legs off at the knees. So he would be a symbol of all the other slaves. You try to run away if you want, this is what's going to happen to you. You know what my man did? In the ad, they call him Caesar. He used to kind of crawl around on his hands and knees. The white man wouldn't kill him. He just had him there to remind every black slave, you are a zombie. Don't read, you can't read. They kill you. If you feel like raping, you will do it. You cannot have a business. That's why some of you don't believe we can run a business now. It's 200 years, you were told. Thousands of years we ran businesses all over Africa, all over the world. But when you got here, are you telling me all of a sudden you became incapable? Zombie time. You know what Brother Caesar did? Brother Caesar ran away from the plantation again on his knees and on his hands. And my friend, they never caught him. They never caught him. They were advertising frequently in the newspaper, "Get my nigger." Because the blacks on the plantation started saying he got away, they prayed. Brother, make it. Brother, make it. For us, well, and he made it. Now, during Black History Week, why is he not your hero? Your leaders can't tell you that. They can't hold Brother Caesar up as a hero. Their bosses won't let them. Because these were real heroes like Marcus Garvey. A man for the people. And those same handkerchief heads criticized Garvey to death. And they criticized Malcolm X to death. When he died, they said, how could someone get excited over a hoodlum and an ex-convict? But the voice and the blood of Malcolm spoke to you. You felt his love. Now let me finish by just getting to my very last topic. We now know what our problem is. We now know who we are. We know now who we are. We now know what happened to us psychologically to create this big problem. We also know who our indigenous leaders are and who the appointed leaders are. The only thing that I have promised you that I have not yet done is to tell you what the traditional Negro leader will never tell you.